Okay, we have a very interesting video about World of Warcraft, and Blizzard is finally doing what WoW players begged for. Now, as you already know, Blizzard, they don't do anything the community begs them to. So, I really wonder what this video is about, to be honest, and I don't know. I guess we have to watch and find out for ourselves.
We do have a WoW episode today. It's been almost a year since Blizzard declared war on add-ons. We had a full year of drama and community infighting / discussion before Midnight launched. And when it finally arrived, many things were great. Many things were a bit broken. Of course, much that was broken was because Blizzard had to rush to replace all the things we needed and loved, like our cooldown manager, DPS meters, and boss alerts. Every class in the game was pruned and largely simplified for this new add-onless world. So if all that happened, then why does the race to world first look like this? The war on add-ons is over, and a lot of people are actually now saying that, well, the add-ons won. That's not the only thing we have today. There's a giant stack of bugs, some of them are quite funny, a growing problem in housing, and an interview with Holly about World of Warcraft's future. So welcome back to the news.
That's interesting. An interview with a wine mom.
First, I've got to say the race to world first was absolutely incredible. The secret phase reveal will go down in history, and that it happened on Easter Sunday is kind of hilarious. But
I heard about that.
Watching the Lura fight, you probably saw a lot of things you really shouldn't have. Like this memory game helper. You see, Lura shows marks in a certain order, and players have got to stand in the right order. Now the thing is, on Mythic difficulty, she splits players up, and she shows them only parts of the pattern, meaning that the different segments of players are supposed to communicate with each other to get the full answer. That's really hard to do in the time constraints. So
yeah, because it forces WoW players to communicate with each other. Damn, that's a difficult mechanic they ever added into the game. Wow, that's insane. To actually put that inside of an MMORPG. And WoW players to boot. That's crazy. I can't believe they actually have to do that nowadays.
Both Echo and Liquid made
Can you imagine?
Custom add-ons to display the pattern on everyone's screen. And given the design intent, it looks like some serious cheating. But it's actually a simple display. Players type what they see, and the add-on picks that up to draw the image. So it's not an autosolver or anything like that. And because of that, Blizzard gave them the thumbs up for it. Now I won't say it makes the fight a whole lot easier, but it is an add-on that solves the memory part of a memory game. So for counting score, I'm going to say Blizzard 0.
WoW players don't have any memory. Bro, they wasted everything about the most insignificant stuff inside of WoW. I mean, well, I guess it is what it is, right?
0, add-ons 1. Just that that's only one of the losses, and probably the least important. Look at almost any Raiders UI in the race, and you'll see something that Blizzard explicitly said they wanted gone. And that is these text prompts. Back in November, Blizzard dropped a huge post on the UI development Discord, and one of the points was on simplifying names. Their stance is that learning spell names is part of the gameplay, not renaming them. Now, an important role in this fight is to hold these light crystals. So the player responsible has a massive bar on their screen telling them to check the crystal. And
guys, can you even see the boss? I mean, what in God's name is that? What am I watching? There's so many things going on the screen. You can't even see the game. I mean, what is that? Like, this is what World of Warcraft is nowadays? It's just so embarrassing. I swear, it's like WoW players cannot play a game without half their screen being covered with a relevant crap. It's just so annoying to see. It's infuriating. I mean, and then you are surprised why no new player is coming into the game. It's because of that. They see high-level players, or to be honest, any raider whatsoever, just play like this, and they're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, chief. It's way too much. It's sensory overload, and there is no reason for this to exist. They need to simplify bosses and mechanic just to make sure new players are actually incentivized to try raids. They really need to start doing that, because this is not appealing to anyone. It's not appealing to me, and I'm a returning player, essentially, right? Until my subscription runs out. Well, I still have to renew it one last time, and that's it. But yeah, it's going to be such a hassle.
Goes away once the crystal is picked up. And that means it is now Blizzard 0, add-ons 2. And it's not just a race thing either. On Lura, the memory game is called Death's Dirge. But on most UIs, It's just called marks. Not really flavorful. Echo and Liquid both have on-screen text timers with instructions, rather.
Yeah, I could never keep up with all of that, brother. I mean, we're all pushing 30s here, okay? I've seen my viewership. I do not have a single person that is below the age of 18. No person like us can ever keep up with that. And to be honest, it's not like we can't, we don't want to. It's just too much. It is just too much information. I mean, at some point, you're not even playing a game. You're playing a graph. And it's not fun. It's supposed to be fun. And that's what Blizzard lost. They have no goal for the game. They're just, oh, okay, we need to cheat the add-ons because the add-ons are cheating our game. And it's like, bro, the easiest solution would literally just be to simplify the game, simplify the bosses, simplify all the mechanics, and get rid of all of this. Just like it was in Classic World of Warcraft. Obviously, don't make it as easy as Classic, okay? Make it difficult, but make it reasonably difficult. Just don't make it so difficult that people would have to rely on an external program. That's it.
Than spell names. And the thing is, you can do that too, because now it's a feature of bigwigs. So, let's update the tally. That's Blizzard 0, Addons 3. And it keeps going. Recently, Mini-CC got an update allowing it to track allies' cooldowns. Now, it's not perfect. It actually uses a chain of loopholes and different conditions to figure out when a spell was used. But the end result is the same thing. Most friendly cooldowns are visible only if you use an add-on. That means the add-on gives you an advantage. One of the coolest parts of software engineering.
So ban the add-on. I mean, what are we even on about? Like, why is Blizzard so incessant of trying to keep add-ons inside of the game and at the same time fight them over and over again? Just ban them outright. It's that simple. I don't know why they're not doing it.
Is working around constraints and coming up with crazy ways to make something work. The developer absolutely did that, and I do think that that is, like, pretty awesome. So, you know, thumbs up to the dev. But let's keep going, because then there's X-Win tools and Blizzy interrupts, which both function as interrupt trackers. And that means it is now Blizzard 0, Addons 4. And we should talk about this, because
Surprise.
It means add-ons still provide a ton of competitive advantage. But the only difference now is that accessing that competitive advantage is a hell of a lot more complicated than it used to be. Because
Great, you should gatekeep add-ons. That's great, because it's not enough to gatekeep the entire WoW experience. Now you have to gatekeep the add-ons as well. Great. Good on you, Blizzard. You're making it big.
of all the changes Blizzard made.
Midnight
to
is truly
essentially
one of the
things add-ons
expansions.
can access. So it essentially seems that Blizzard have effectively, well, completely and utterly lost the war on add-ons. It seems they've wasted tons of effort and tons of time, and they've ended up in a situation where many of the same competitive advantages can be gained by players, just that it's way more fiddly and complicated to access that competitive advantage. And that does seem like the opposite of their intent. But what if Blizzard thinks that's enough? Enough to say, put Ian on an aircraft carrier with a banner behind him saying, "Mission accomplished." You see, in our guild, very few of us use any combat add-ons. Not intentionally either, it just sort of happened. Most of them broke at launch, and so far, most of us haven't really felt the need to install them. Now, Blizzard's boss timers are not perfect, but they do the job by and large. The cooldown manager does need a lot of work, but it's enough to get by with. You see, now we've actually seen the raids, and it is obvious that the bit where Blizzard have done the work is with the actual boss design. And that's where I do have to hand it to Blizzard's developers. As an example, whenever someone is targeted, everyone can see it clearly, like with, say, Illyria's arrows or the dragon's dread breath. There are no complicated things to organize, and the mechanics resolve slowly enough that we haven't struggled. And it's the same in dungeons. The important casts are now marked by the game, and they're slow enough that you can see them and react.
Great. Blizzard is slowly working their way up to achieve mediocrity. Awesome. I'm glad for that. They're getting there. Slowly but surely.
To them, and you don't feel like you have to sift through 5 trillion cast bars all at the same time. It's not an accident that Mythic Plus 10s are substantially easier than ever before. Blizzard have simplified and slowed down the game, very intentionally.
Okay, that's
all
good.
to make World of Warcraft more approachable. But there is another angle to it, and that is defeating add-ons in a bit of a different way. You see, add-ons still offer a competitive advantage, and that's something Blizzard does not want. But outside of the very top end, that advantage doesn't really feel necessary. And if it doesn't feel necessary, well, and jumping through all the hoops to get it going doesn't really matter anymore. If you can play the game and succeed in your goals without add-ons, then why bother going out of your way to download a big complicated setup? So my gut tells me that this...
So you won't be ostracized by the community of the sweats. But yeah, we gotta... Oh, Rose! How are you doing, my man? Let's see. Add-ons and the direct integration by add-ons into WoW are a tacit admission by Blizzard that they don't give a singular damn about actual world immersion anymore. Of course. They stopped caring about world immersion, I think, not in Pandaria. Pandaria was actually kind of good in terms of immersion. When was it really? I can't even put my finger on it. I think Draenor, maybe. Draenor World, yeah, with Garrison. Maybe it died with Garrison. But clearly all the add-ons and stuff, it came like even before that. It's just so cringe. They literally do not care anymore. I'd even go as far as to say that they should have banned Questy from Classic, but maybe it's taken it a little bit too over the edge. I'm not really sure about that.
Or isn't quite as one-sided as our little score counter earlier would suggest. But when we'll really find out is if Blizzard starts shipping more restrictions in patch 12.0.5, or if they're actually happy with where we've landed here.
But what's the point? If they're gonna bypass the add-on restrictions anyway, what are we doing here? Just ban add-ons. Why are you trying to make this circle game of like chicken, who backs out first? It doesn't make any sense. It's not contributing to anything. Definitely not for your community, because all of the confusing rules and stuff and the gatekeeping. So the outright best solution would be to just ban all add-ons and make your own. That's it. They're clearly making ways towards it, but it takes them forever, and it's something that needs to happen now. No, wait, it should have happened yesterday.
Let me know what your guild's experience has been, but with that said, gotta talk about that update.
The greatest update ever.
Will be
I bet it's going to be the most mid crap I've ever seen in my life, but okay, let's see.
one of the most legendary patches of all time, and I hope it is a sign of what to come. You see, when the patch drops, you'll be able to choose how you sheathe your weapons.
Wow!
Yeah, biggest patch of all time. You can put them on your
Incredible.
head, on your back. You can even hide them, and dual wielders can even choose them independently. So it actually looks like the new Transmog system has more going on than we first thought.
Amazing.
Now, we already knew from an
Truly one of the updates.
interview months ago that Blizzard are working on personalization and customization as one of their next big things. But it's a huge project with loads of technical stuff behind it. Now, obviously, given the technical impossibility of blue tattoos, something might be up, and we've still had to wait a whole patch to get blue eyes. But there's a parallel here with Transmog. They rebuilt that system, and suddenly,
Man.
we've got loads of
More and more videos of Bellular, and I swear to God, I'm starting to slowly understand that Blizzard is just a bunch of fools running around like headless chickens in their office and do nothing but cube crawl and fridge raid. I have absolutely no idea how the most minute stuff ever and the most mediocre garbage is being praised as being like a huge patch or a huge update to the game, and what an achievement. I really cannot see a world where this is okay. I don't know what WoW players are smoking, man, but they are beyond saving.
sheathing options. So they can do these things, but only when they take their time. And it's with that context
Bellular is wildin' hard.
that we now go to Holly's recent interview. Because if you're one of the people who has thought, look at all that shit the Ironeer get, why is my human sitting here with no customizations? Well, it seems Blizzard are actually committing to something here. Okay, I'll
Holy
cut to the chase
future
this
for
one.
WoW. Holy future for WoW is sunshine and rainbows in every major city. Orcs are going to be like, I don't know, like just running around doing the most weird crap ever. Night Elf queens are gonna slay and do everything. They're gonna be the new main characters. They're not gonna be a single cool character that is a man. No more masculinity. You have no muscles or anything. Everyone is gonna be like those slim weirdos. And I don't know, the rest are going to be furries. That's it. That is a holy vision for World of Warcraft.
We had an interview with the official WoW community Discord, and we got some real good stuff out of it. When she was asked about what she'd do if she could wave a magic wand and just have it all done, her answer was actually more customization. That shows where her priorities are, but also where she's probably the most frustrated with limitations. And she gave a few
Oiled up muscular orc man, welcome to Ram.
examples that I think betray that further.
Oh god.
High five emotes. High five emotes
High five emote? What? What did she think we're playing? Wait, I want to hear the reasoning for that.
match player heights, as in the heights of your different characters. How do you high five another character when that character could be a gnome?
Wait, what? Wait, I want to read that. Practical limitations aside, Holly would love for the game to have more personalization and interaction. Getting a gnome and a tauren to high five is harder than you think. Why would a gnome want to high five a cow? It doesn't make any sense. The cow should kick the gnome because that's what they deserve. It's their fate. They're gnomes. Nobody likes them. So yeah, they go around running like, oh, like who cares? Why would you even consider that? Yikes.
To match player heights, as in the heights of your different characters. How do you high five another character when that character could be a gnome and you...
Anything but actual addition to the gameplay, of course. Why would they add to the gameplay? You know, the add comes from addiction, and that part the players already bring.
Who could be a tauren? And then there's one of the toughest things, hair and beards, which naturally led to one of WoW's biggest issues.
What?
Toughest things.
She'd love more options for players to express themselves, from hair and beards to transmog and activities. Personalization and customization, making your character your own, is important to WoW future. She wants female dwarfs with beards. That's what she means by that. Because right now we have pretty good customization. Yeah, I mean, technically I would agree. I want more. But I know which type of customization they're going to add. And you know it's going to be a furry meter.
Hair and beards, which naturally led to one of WoW's...
Gnome and Azura, the same fate, brother. You know, sometimes you're being born on the wrong part of the scale, right? I mean, if you're a gnome, I feel for you, right? But being an Azura, holy, I can't even decide what is worse. You know, I actually cannot. Because gnomes are annoying, but the Azura, they're so snarky. I cannot contain them. They think they are better than you. Gnomes just do crazy stuff.
Biggest issues. Hair.
Rat Nation, rats are goated. Like, inside of Guild Wars 2, I love them. I love them.
Under hats. Obviously, she didn't make specific time-bound promises, but she made it clear that
hair showing under hats is definitely one of the things of Holy Radar. Can you just fix the game? Like, please, for the love of God. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, it's fine, but can you please just make the game good? Can you actually make a leveling experience that won't deter new players from trying our game? Can you actually make a non-add-on infested pure WoW experience? Like, what are we talking about? She's talking about the small stuff, like we don't have a giant bubble that is about to explode over our heads. It's just going from one thing to the other without even paying attention to the major issues of the game. I would have glad if she even mentioned it. Right? But she's not. She's not talking about the declining player base. She's not talking about the fact that WoW is losing more and more players. She's not even talking about the problems in Classic that are not fixing, like ninja looting, which we covered recently. She just talks about, ooh, I want the dress to look nice. I want people to express themselves. I could already express myself. I played an orc warrior, and I smacked the crap out of gnomes. That was enough for me. No, please, fix my game. Let's see. I don't think you can actually add any significant gameplay changes to WoW without rewriting entire section of the game. I know. Change the game. The game is garbage. Have you seen the leveling experience? It's trash. Literally change it. From the ground up. 100%. WoW is pretty much a solved game. Only way to go WoW 2 or a new MMO. I think that's why so many people are banking on Classic World of Warcraft. I mean, I know at least I am. Right? Classic WoW would be a clean slate for both retail and classic players. And I think that's why most people would rely on that. To be honest, if it was up to me, I would have said, okay, Classic Plus is the new standard. I would have taken any other version of World of Warcraft that split the player base. And I would have said, okay, Classic Plus is the new way to go. I'm going to bring up a completely new story. I'm going to say that retail was an Azov nightmare. And we go from there. There we go. Clean slate. Because right now, they tried it with a Soul Saga, however they call it, and it's garbage, right? Nobody's enjoying it. Nobody cares about the story. Nobody even remembers the War Within. And I'm pretty sure that the Last Titan, which is the next expansion, it won't be as good or, climactic, I guess. It was just going to be like, nobody would really care about that. Classic Plus is going to drop as an announcement, and it's just going to be a team with Turtle WoW. You know what? I have a video coming about that. And yeah, I think you're right.
But it's something the team wants to solve. So if they're working on a long-term customization revamp, that is almost guaranteed to be part of it. Just like how this Transmog revamp has finally let us sheath how we want. Sounds like a euphemism, so let's move swiftly on to the next thing. Customization wasn't everything. She talked about a housing roadmap being in the works. She reiterated that social system changes are coming to the game, and that being in the works, she reiterated
social systems, and players can expect to see some future changes. What do you think social systems means? I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion first. What do you think? What do you think whenever you hear a wine mom talking about a social system? Do you think it's going to be, I don't know, better localization? What do you think? Because in my opinion, it's going to be a hard crackdown over people like me. I think that we are going to get banned very, very soon for saying things that are very, very unsavory according to Blizzard terms. So, more bans. Exactly. You nailed it, Rose. I knew you would get it. 100%. Classic Plus could be all new content with classic gameplay, or all the current expansion with classic gameplay, I think. Classic gameplay is garbage. You should use the new system. 100%. They banned my character, right? It's because it reminded too much of the guys in their office. I mean, yeah, a free Siabi probably personally banned you himself.
That social system changes are coming to the game, and that she thinks of World of Warcraft as a, quote, third place. Honestly, I think that is one of the things our societies tend to be the most lacking in big developed countries, and I think that is a brilliant thing for World of Warcraft to focus on. So thumbs up to that one.
Yeah, they're most likely going to ban a lot of people for saying stuff they don't agree with. Something that is not in line with their doctrine. Oh man, they're gonna crack down hard on you. They're gonna go worse than ArenaNet probably.
And by that, she means a place or a people to truly build community and hang out. That's fantastic. She talked about two other major things as well. Class identity.
Yeah. And I mean, clearly the community that she envisions is not us. It is not me, you. It's not the average WoW lover. No, it's going to be a community of very specific type of people that we most commonly see on Twitch and all of these weird platforms like Reddit, right? Which nobody goes to anymore because they're too infested with these type of people. So it's just going to be bad. I think that would officially be the death of World of Warcraft, at least for me.
And WoW's future world. No promises, of course, but she made clear where they're heading. They're trying to get race and class fantasies to feel important again, though she didn't say how. And on the topic of the world,
They were important. You butchered them. They were good. Night Elves were good. Blood Elves were good. You turned them into garbage. You sissify them, you pussify them, and now there's nothing left. So what are we talking about? You demasculinized orcs, the most manly race in World of Warcraft, and you literally took the one thing they had. You had to take every single war chief one by one and you topple them like pawns in your game. You did nothing good for them. Nothing. Thrall is a massive green baby nobody cares about anymore. Garrosh is dead in the worst way possible. Grom memory is long forgotten. And who else did we have that we lost? Bane, you know what? I actually haven't heard about him in a while. I don't know if it's good or not. I need to get a refresher on the previous expansions. But yeah, every major war chief, Vol'jin is giga dead. And for the wrong reason. He died so Sylvanas can go on a Yasslay Queen arc as a war chief. That's what he died for. Incredible. And don't get me started about Sourfang dying in a Magora to Sylvanas using magic. Puh. Actually disgusting. Actually disgusting. Free my boy Rexar is getting railed since TBC. I wonder, he's still wandering Desolus. What is he doing nowadays? Check up on him.
Trying to focus on building it up instead of just expanding it. She didn't say it directly, but I think they're getting tired of slapping new islands onto the map. I think we're getting tired of that too. So overall, it sounds like Holly is happy, broadly, with WoW's current direction of catering to every type of player.
Wait, what did he say?
I think we're getting tired of that too. So overall, it sounds like Holly is happy, broadly, with WoW's current direction of catering to every type.
Of course she's happy because she's the one who taken it in that direction. She's literally taking a ship directly into the iceberg. Of course she's happy, like she don't care. What do you mean?
Of player, but there's perhaps one type of player they should really stop catering to.
Oh.
I'm talking about scalpers. We had a lot of drama with the limited Pringles mount collab. I can barely believe those are words coming out of my mouth, and this is a part of my job. I'm talking about the Pringler angering people. How ridiculous, how silly, but hey, it's the modern world, and unfortunately for you and me, but...
To be fair, Horde always had their war chief changing, yeah, but it used to be cool. It used to be great. You know, it used to be, okay, now Garrosh fights Crane, Bloodhoof, and he gets his axe poisoned by Magatha, who wanted to kill Crane. And it was a really good mix of, oh, Garrosh thought he was fighting a fair fight and defeated him, like, fairly. But no, he accidentally poisoned him, and then I think he killed Magatha, right? So it was really, really cool. There was an entire lore behind it, and a lot of mischievous things going in the background, and plots and schemes, and it was great. It was a great story to be seen. Nowadays, it's like, oh, I need Sylvanas to be the current queen, so... You know, let's just kill the troll guy that was there since the beginning. Like, who cares? Just kick him.
Fortunately for the scalpers, this kind of thing has happened again. Xbox partnered with Coca-Cola on a range
Horde used to be Housewives for Men, true. That's why I'm here.
Promotional Fanta cans. And they've made two mistakes. Mistake one was giving Xalatath the red strawberry one instead of the purple grape one.
What are we talking about? Just make the game good. I don't care about some can drink being, I don't know, promoted by Blizzard. I literally do not care. Just make the game better.
That's not really relevant here because mistake two was limiting the codes. There are only around 40,000 of each WoW reward, and they're all split up across a 17-week-long promotional period. It's only just started, and the mount is already on eBay for $50. Now the thing is, we know this mount will come to the trading post later. It's not going to be as crazy as the Pringles mount situation, but limiting codes like this is adding frustration to an otherwise fun collab, and it's quite obviously giving scalpers an opportunity to come in and basically ruin the fun for all of us. That's not the end of the weird collabs, because they've partnered with Lodge to make a cast iron skillet. So I think we have to accept it. Wow.
Yeah, because all the men are going to be cooking for their wives playing in the background, so it makes sense. They're actually double cashing on this. This is smart. I like that move, Blizzard.
Really is
well done.
A boomer game. I don't know about you, but I've hit the age where if I was able to get a World of Warcraft themed Dyson vacuum cleaner, I'd be thrilled. Same goes for the skillet, and that's why they sold out almost immediately.
Yeah, no way we're that old.
Reward. The skillet does come with a code for the Cinder Kitten, which is a cheap pet that's been in the WoW store for years. Basically, people, me included, just wanted a skillet with the WoW logo on it that looked really cool. I get it, and apparently Lodge is a reliable brand as well. Now, last I checked, they were sold out. So all I can say is, well, lads, get more iron and get casting seriously.
I think it just goes to show how much budget of World of Warcraft goes into marketing rather than actually fixing the game. It's all about optics. It's all about how Blizzard is trying to present themselves to the world instead of actually fixing the game. Because if a game is good enough, and I think we've seen the most prominent example with Valve games, it will be successful on its own. Because Valve rarely publicize their games. I mean, look at Deadlock. It's popping the hell off. And Valve is actively preventing players from coming into the game. You need to get invited by some other person to actually get inside. And this game still runs, I think, close to 100k people daily. Concurrent players, by the way. Now, granted, some of these are probably bots, like doing some shenaniganry. But if we cut it by half, 50k players for a very strict closed alpha, it's insane. With no marketing whatsoever. Because the game is just that good on its own. If World of Warcraft used to be good like it was back in the day, it its name, would have carried it miles further because the game was already popular. But since Blizzard thought they already achieved this phase, it means they don't have to make an effort anymore. But they don't realize that what they're doing is slowly degrading the name of the game until there would be nothing left. And one day they will get it. Just not today.
You need these. I want to buy them, please. Well, that said,
Yeah, impressed retail player can cook on a stove, though. I know, they should have made it a microwave.
now go to the most reliable part of the Warcraft news, which is how unreliable WoW has been. It's time for Bug Watch.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
get the good news
assuming...
out of the way first. At rank 6 of the Delver's Journey, you can buy bonus keys. Now, there's a little quibble, which is that it's...
I literally encountered a bug inside of a delve where I tried to assign a new ability to my follower and the game just crashed because I didn't have the right quest at the right time apparently, and Blizzard still haven't fixed that. Apparently it was a problem that was present in Dragonflight or something like that, and they still hadn't fixed it, which
seems they didn't upgrade
It
it
is
to
what
work
it is.
with the new key shard system because people were basically just sending their undercoins into the abyss. Just deleted. Now, it didn't take long to fix, but people
Your
are
problem,
reporting
chump.
that they still have not got their lost keys back, so that's a bit silly. Time walking gear was broken
Just
as
a little
well,
bit
but
silly.
in a bit of a minor way. While leveling, it was dropping gear higher than you can wear. That's fixed now, thankfully. But going to max level, last week's Mythic Plus wasn't really working for a while, as it turned out. That's because the Void Emissary summon from the Xalatath affix was despawning, leaving people very confused. Now, thankfully, that is also fixed. But players have noticed a whole lot more, though some of these will certainly be lower priority for Blizzard. As an example...
Yeah, I mean, Blizzard just releasing sinking ships out there and they're just plugging the holes as we go along.
The War Within is a little bit broken. Delves don't reliably drop Radiant Echo, so if you fancied going to do that achievement hunt, maybe hold off on that. And the same goes for crafting. You still need Valor Stones to craft some things, but there's no way of getting Valor Stones.
What? But they
because
removed
they've
it.
been deleted from the game.
Bro, that is such an oversight. Even I knew that. How could they not prepare for it? I mean, I really need to understand how many people are working on current day World of Warcraft. I really need to know the numbers. And I bet it's going to be like 10 people and 5 of them cube crawling. And the rest is probably pushing fridge rating.
No.
But don't take the milk though. Afrisiabe already hard reserved it.
Not ideal, but compared to our last bug, it's a minor issue. And that last bug is the loot bug. Yes, the loot bug. You see, after an apparent fix 2 weeks ago, the forums are still full of people complaining that they are locked to specific loot slots. And they just keep on doing delves. And they keep on getting shoulders. Shoulders for days. A bag full of shoulders. And they keep on playing. And basically, if this has impacted you, your character's almost a bit bricked. And that does mean that, like, your progress in the end game of World of Warcraft is kind of broken, which does seem like a problem to me. Hopefully Blizzard takes that seriously, and maybe gives delves better loot tables in the future. But that's the current WoW news. Where we're looking into the future, though, is, well, quite simply, now that Midnight's fully released, it's basically time to settle into the groove of playing the game while we wait for the announcements. And on that front,
For it to be fixed. Great. We're paying subscription plus a whole price for a boxed game, and we get a broken experience. We're essentially being used as guinea pigs to test it, and we're paying for it. Damn, that's great. I like that. Good job, Blizzard. Truly, you're at the peak of your game.